Finally, the weather has warmed up enough for Rocky and me to go camping. It's been a long cold winter, but this weekend will be in the 40s and 50s, perfect for a camping trip. We've been to Big Hill Shelter many times before, and every time I thought about how great it would be to camp here. Today I finally get to do it, so I couldn't be more excited. With everything loaded up, we set off towards the trail. Rocky, of course, was leading the way. It's a short hike, only about 2 miles. The first half of the trail is pretty flat, but the second half gets steeper with a few tricky spots. My backpack's a bit heavier than usual because I packed extra stuff for Rocky to keep him warm and safe. We walked through the quiet forest of bare trees, the cold breeze brushing past us, the wet leaves to cover the ground, making the trail slippery. As we moved further in, the trail started to go uphill and my backpack felt heavier with every step. Things got even tougher with more slippery, rocky terrain, so I had to be extra careful, taking it slow and steady. After a climb, we finally reached the shelter. I found a nice open area for camp and got to work setting up the tent. Rocky took his job as a camp security very seriously, standing alert, scanning the surroundings, making sure there was no unwanted visitors, especially bears. Setting up the RDI 2-person tent is extremely easy. It comes with a footprint, the poles are easy to connect, and I can set it up in just a few minutes. Since rain is in the forecast, I made sure to put on the rain cover too. The inside of the tent is surprisingly roomy and cozy for both of us. Rocky found a nice spot to chill, already settling in and enjoying the experience. I brought the military sleep system, which has 3 layers, the waterproof Vivi, the 30-degree bag, and the 20-degree bag. I placed the foam padding underneath. I also added a Nemo thermal padding later for extra comfort. Rocky will be sleeping in a wool blanket inside the carry bag with a padded blanket underneath. The shelter has 2 big fireplaces, which are great for making a fire, and I like to use the fire to boil water and cook food. Making a wood fire is one of my favorite camping activities, so I grabbed my folding saw and started processing the wood. Other members from the meetup had already done most of the work, so I just helped out by trimming some branches. There's something about a warm fire that just makes everything feel better. It was cloudy and misty, with rain on the way, but the fire kept us warm and it made everything feel so cozy. With the fire going, I grabbed my favorite titanium pop and poured some water. For backpacking, you have to choose your luxury items and necessary items, but for me, titanium pots are both luxury and necessary because they're extremely light and boils water extremely fast. I placed it over the flame, and after a few minutes the water started to boil, so I carefully grabbed the handles and I took it out of the fire and began making my dinner. Today I brought shin ramen, an egg, and a grass-fed hot dog. Shin ramen is the OG of Korean ramen, and a shin ramen black with beef bone broth is even better and hands down one of the best ramens out there. Shin ramen black feels like spicy spin on solongtang, one of the Koreans' coziest comfort foods that's been around for hundreds of years. So whenever I make shin ramen black, it feels like I'm eating a modern instant spicy version of solongtang with ramen noodles instead of rice. I poured the hot water into the ramen with the egg. Once the egg was cooked, I added a hot dog. By the way, this hot dog is my absolute favorite food for camping because it's pretty cooked, packed with calories, protein, and fat, and it tastes amazing. To make it even better, I pan-fried it at home to give it a nice seared texture. For me, there's nothing like holding a warm bowl of ramen out in the wilderness, eating the noodles and drinking the broth that warms my belly as it travels down. Maybe it's just something in us, but food tastes way better out here, like it awakens something in the senses that you don't notice anywhere else. Rocky also enjoyed his meal. I brought some cooked chicken breast and some of his favorite freeze-dried treats. After dinner, Rocky snuggled into his sleeping spot in the tent. Even though it was his first night camping, he settled in and fell asleep right away. Our first camping trip was a huge success. Can't wait for the next adventure. Thanks for joining us on Rocky's first camping trip. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fun experience. See you on the next trip.